This is James Holder for the Cassius and Holder Show. I'm on the road today on my way to Harrow and Wealdstone. With me, I've got Indian former amateur superstar. Would that be a right description? Vijender Singh.
Yeah, if it's Vijender, not me.
Oh, obviously that I didn't want to go there. You do look like you've been doing a bit of sparring of late. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on, mate.
Having a mark-up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Listen, talk to me about this. We've got Vijender here in the UK. He's a new signing. How did this come about?
Well, Vijender's manager in India, good friend called Nirav Tomar, and we go back about 5 or 6 years. Vijender caught the eye when I went over to Chandigarh. Was that the right pronunciation? About 5 years ago.
Chandigarh.
That was a real scouting mission then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And obviously at the time he was still dedicated to the amateur scene in India. But Vijender decided he wanted to explore the professional ranks, and Nirav got in touch and just said, there's a possibility, would you be interested? Absolutely. So we spent a week together last week, and we gelled, and with the help, a lot of help from Nirav, we managed to get a deal done, and announced it today that Vijender signed for BoxNation and Queensbury, and we'll be on BoxNation on a long-term deal. I'm very excited to get going.
I mean, for those that don't know, you've been the poster boy for Indian boxing for a very long time.
Yeah.
Probably the main attraction, if you like, for that team. So what was your decision in turning pro? What made you want to then move from there to here?
I came here last week, and I spent a whole week with Lee and with the Francis. He's a great horse, I can say that. But the training is different, I can say that. It's need lots of hard work, and I did sparring here. And I seen the whole pro setup, it's how it's work and how it's going to be, and that's an interesting thing. And I speak to Nirav, I speak to Francis about my pro things, and it's happened now, and I'm turning pro with the Francis.
Yeah. Back in India, you're a Bollywood star, you're a police officer,
yes,
you're a boxer. That's some combination, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good catwalk model.
And catwalk model.
I did so many things in India, because if you get the opportunity, you just take it, right? And
yes.
it's own hard work, because whenever you just do hard work, it's going to be like everything going to be happen, and they just believe yourself, I can say that. And I did so many things in my life, and still I'm doing it, and now it's time to pro, and I show them I'm a good boxer in pro.
One thing I want to talk about before we go on the boxing is the Bollywood dance moves. Bollywood films have been hitting the UK forever. I know Francis is a massive fan of some of the Bollywood films. Could you teach him a few dance manoeuvres? Would that be something we can work on?
Right now.
Yeah, show us something.
We need so much for the dancing.
More
space.
space.
Floor.
You need a bit more room. I'm sure. You need a bit more room, but
but Francis is always talking about that Bollywood heroines, from the Bombay, because they are pretty, they are beautiful, they are So he's always asking me who's your friend, who's your friend.
Who's your mate? Who's your mate? I miss it so much.
Back in India, obviously you were a huge star. Someone told me you was the equivalent of David Beckham for India, if you like. How do you deal with that sort of media attention? Obviously you must be quite frantic.
Just be yourself, that's it. Don't change for anything or anyone. I think be yourself. Whatever you are, that's it. Don't be changed for anything. So I'm just I'm in the zone. I know I'm a boxer, I just doing my work, that's it.
So what happens if someone commits a crime, and then you knock on their door?
I just arrest him and just put him in the locker, that's it.
Have you ever any shock reactions when you knock on a door and they're like, oh my god, you're my hero, you're here, what is going on?
I'm not in that police duty right now, but I'm an officer, so I just go there and just sign the paper and just come back, that's it.
So your police officer duty is basically consumed with turning up, signing the paper and going on your way.
Yeah.
That's what keeps him fit, chasing all the bad guys around.
Let's just grasp this now. Obviously he's coming to a new country. He's going to be looking to establish himself. Obviously he's got a massive fan base. I looked on his Facebook today. 1.3 million people interact on your Facebook every day. That's incredible.
After I join the Francis, so it's going to be big.
Get to 1.4, I reckon. I mean, it's a massive coup for Francis to get you here. So
he's a massive deal for us. Really proud to have Vijender on board and part of the team. But hard work starts now. It's doing the deal was the easy bit. Vijender's got to adapt to the professional game, and he's going to go up to Manchester, and he's got a 7-week training camp with Lee, Lee Beard, who's going to be looking after Vijender. He was very impressed with him last week, so you know we managed to strike another deal with Lee to make sure that everyone's happy. And he's going to make his debut at end of September, early October, and we're looking to keep Vijender busy. But it's a massive credit to Vijender. He could have stayed in India, could have stayed as as an amateur boxer, gone to Rio, which in itself would have been another massive achievement. It would have been the 4th Olympic Games.
True.
But he wanted to take himself out of his comfort zone. He's moving to he's going to be staying and living in Manchester. In a completely new city and in a completely, well, effectively really is a completely different way of approaching his job, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what he can do. I mean, we watched a bit of sparring last week and very impressed, and already you can see things that Lee's worked on with him last week are sort of just coming to fruition a bit. So it'll be very, very exciting to see after Lee's had him for 7 weeks.
He's going to be the guest of honour at Frank Bugliani's world title shot against Fedor Chudanov, which is a great fight, and it'll be your first chance to witness maybe some live British boxing.
Wow, it's going to be like on July or like when's it going to be?
July, Friday the 24th of July at Wembley Arena. We have Nirav up front and centre, cheering Frank on, because they boxed, didn't they? You boxed Frank Bugliani in the amateurs.
I think so.
Yeah, you boxed Frank in the amateurs, and so that's obviously what Nirav's aiming for, is to be challenging at the very top, and we'll be supporting him, and hoping that Frank can do the business.
Interestingly enough, I read today you've got a victory over Badu Jack in the Olympics, and he's actually the current world champion. So again, that must give you a little bit of confidence and your team, looking at the sort of fighters you've mixed it with in the amateurs.
Well, of course, it's a great team, and it's love to be like working with the experienced guy, and it's going to be awesome, because it's a new thing, and I need to be like experienced guy, because it's a new to like amateur to like turn pro. So I need a good team, and should I think I'm getting the good team.
Let's try a little quick fire round now. Grant gloves or Reyes gloves?
Sorry?
Grant gloves or Reyes gloves?
Winning.
Mumbai or Dubai?
Both.
I don't think we're grasping this one.
This ain't going too well. Francis or George?
Who's George?
That's out. We're not going to touch on that. It's his brother. I've got a few more quick fire ones, but I'm just trying to think.
Come on.
He's putting myself on the spot here. This is kind of off the cuff,
Coogan or James?
James.
Yes. I'm glad you said that. He doesn't know who James is, but it's all right. We'll move on from
James,
him.
man.
So your pro debut, when is he going to be making his official debut, Frank?
Be end of September, beginning of October. Obviously we've got Terry Flanagan fighting on the 11th of July. And as we mentioned, we've got Frank fighting on the 24th. So, it kind of depends on who comes through those fights as to, for our schedule in the new season. So all will become a bit clearer in the next couple of weeks as to where Nirav will be making his debut. I'd like to try and get him out a couple of times in quick succession. I think it's important that he hits the ground running, and I think we're going to do a minimum of 6 fights in the between September and the end of June.
And will that be
year.
split across India and England?
No, they're all going to be in the UK.
Okay.
6 in the UK.
Okay.
And then after the first season's done, we'll sort of make a decision as to the next step. But if we can get 6 to 8 wins, and everything's developing as we hope it's going to develop, then I think we're going to have a big homecoming show in India.
Sure.
Fantastic. Well, listen, it'd be great to see a top Indian talent making his way in the paid ranks. Are you the first professional boxer from India?
Vijender Singh was a heavyweight.
But that is in like heavy or super heavy, I think, and it's like almost like 10 or 15 years earlier. And Gurucharan is his name, it is senior boxer, and I really respect him. And I met him once when I was in the USA, and he's a great fighter, I can say.
I think we have Pradeep Singh. He's based out of Australia. So,
Go on, Fran, I'm always impressed by your knowledge, I've got to say. Impressed by that.
Well, it's a good job someone is.
Don't look at me.
But Vijender's you know, after spending so much time as an amateur and you know, doing what he's done as an amateur with all the medals he's won, you know, it's his time to do it for himself, for you know, for a bit, and you know, take his career to that next level and test himself, you know, against the best pros out there, and obviously, what's the ultimate aim?
World title.
Good man.
Alright, well listen, watch this space and we look forward to following your journey from here on in, and thank you for giving Cassius and Helder a bit of
Thank
your
you so
time.
much.
So,
See you
cheers,
soon.
James.